Hey, Lennox here. Before this video officially starts, only 18% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to me, so please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new here and like my content. It would mean the world to me. Thank you. To add this, adjust that, modify those, remove you. Yes, it's all coming together. Huh? Uh-oh. Hello everyone, and welcome to the second devlog of me making a VHS style horror game. And damn, look at me uploading more frequently. Good job, me. I have been very busy. See, after the last devlog was done and I was getting back to work on the game, a bunch of ideas on what I could add to the game started flooding into my brain, and I decided to add all of them. So let me show you exactly what I added. See, originally I only wanted to have a simple cutscene at the end of the game, which I am not going to say anything about, but I wanted it to be the last cutscene before the actual credits roll. However, then out of buttfuck nowhere, I got the idea to create an introduction level, and so I did. The reason why I wanted to make an introduction level was because originally I had just planned for there to be some text talking about what is happening, and then boom, you're in the game. But that just seemed kind of, boring. So I started modeling and building and created this cozy little apartment. However, currently there is nothing happening, so let's change that. For the introduction level, I want to add a few things. First of all, I want a starting cutscene. I want voice lines, subtitles, lore, and an end cutscene that loads into the next level. For the start cutscene, I felt it would be nice for the player to have a sort of nightmare and then wake up in the bed, looking around in a bit of a scared and panicked state, and then get up. And so I did exactly that and got to work. That took longer than expected, but at least we got it down somewhat. I will modify this cutscene a bit more later on to make it feel smoother and realistic, but for now, that is good. I also made this piece of paper right here, and believe it or not, this note is actually quite important as it allows you to progress the game, but it also has a little bit of lore in it. But of course, to simply throw the player into the level and let them walk around in silence until they find the note is rather boring, so I wrote down a little dialogue and recorded it, adding it into the game as well. And with just a little bit of blueprint coding and attenuation settings, we now have a voice line in the game that originates from the radio and fades away when you walk away from the radio, which I think is really fucking cool. But of course, just like with loading into this level, we also need a cutscene to load into the next level, so I got to work. This cutscene is basically the player sitting down with the TV on, and then, once it is on, the player has fully sat down, it zooms in on the TV at which then the video plays and loads into the next level. But this leads into the next part, making the ending level. See, after the player finishes the main game and the end cutscene plays, I want the player to come back into the apartment just to finish a few things up and tease the next game. So I simply copied the introduction level and then got to work on modifying it. Now, I did do a lot of things on the site, which I did not record as I felt like it was not really important enough to add into a devlog, but some of the things I added and changed were: added checks to ensure future bugs don't appear, added quality of life features that make playing overall nicer, adjusted the loudness of certain sound effects, fixed a bug where you could spam E on a door and the door opening and closing sound would ear rape you. Fixed a bug where the main menu music stacked over each other when you went into any of the other options and then back into the main menu. Fixed a bug where if you walked while entering a cutscene, the footstep sound effect would keep playing even if the player was not moving or the cutscene did not move the player. And lastly, I fixed a bug where when you set E as the key to close the inspection window for looking at objects or notes, the interact event to actually interact with objects would no longer work once the window was closed. And take this into consideration. I uploaded the last devlog at this point in the script 3 days ago, and so far everything mentioned in the video has been created in those 3 days and not beforehand. This should give you a little insight into how much of a workaholic I am and how much work I've been putting into this game so far. I've also updated the Steam page somewhat, changing it from the Darkest Paths to this game now. So if you want to play this game, the link to wishlist it is in the description. Also, before anyone asks, I decided to turn the old Steam page for the Darkest Paths into the Steam page for the new game, due to the simple reason being that I can just make a new Steam page later on for the Darkest Paths, rather than buying a new Steam page right now for this game and then just have the Darkest Paths Steam page sitting there for a long time and having sort of wasted $100. Also, the Steam page does not have the screenshots and trailers from the new game set yet, but that will change in the coming days. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. But until next time, goodbye.